How's it going, everybody? TC here once again with another script. This one I've had for, I don't know, a few years. I've been meaning to do it, I just never have gotten around to doing it. But this is kind of complicated. What we've got first here is a story outline by W.J. Voorhees from May 3rd of 65 called Watch the Birdie. Now this one is, I don't know how many pages, it's not sure, about 4 or 5 pages is all it is. But this is interesting because this is right off the typewriter. Because I can feel the indentations on the back of these pages from when this was typed. I can feel, and there's a whiteout going on here, looks like. But I can feel it on the back of each page. Pretty interesting. You don't see story outlines too often. That's 3 pages. This is 4, 5, and 6. Okay. I believe, let's see, maybe I got that wrong. Okay. Here are the other pages. They're not exactly attached anymore. Page 6 and page 7. Okay. That's the outline. This is what's called a 2-page step outline, where it shows commercials, and it's got a few page numbers here and some stuff crossed out in pencil. And you can see the mess ups on the type. This one also is, I can feel the, especially the punctuation marks on the back of this. That's 2 pages. Okay. The next one. This is, of course, I've got a signed photo of Larry Storch from the F Troop. It's a gold or Dell comic cover. There's his autograph right there. Now this says Watch the Birdie. This is the first draft, and it's 46 pages. 5/865. This is also typed pages with corrections in pencil here. It's pretty cool. I'm assuming that all of these corrections were done by the author. Could be wrong, but I believe so. And I'll go through this fairly quick. Now this episode I cannot find on the episode list of the 2 seasons that this show aired, from beginning of 66 to 67. I cannot find the title, Watch the Birdie. So unless they changed the title, which could very well be, but I could not find this story written by W.J. Voorhees in the credits for any episode. Actually, he didn't write. According to the episode guide, there's no episodes written by W.J. Voorhees, so beats me on that deal. It's funny that if they didn't use this episode or use this script, that they went to an awful lot of trouble, because this is the original one here, the first draft, off the typewriter with, as you can see, corrected lines and stuff. But there's also a 46-page Xerox copy. It's identical to this, except it has more notations and stuff in it. But it's identical, pretty much. And I don't see, it's rare for them to have gone through, even though it's a first draft, to have gone through that many corrections and such, and not actually use the episode. So that's pretty unique. So I guess you could say this is one, if I'm right, that was done in pen, and pen was corrected. But if I'm right, this is would be an unaired, well, not unaired episode, but unfilmed episode. And I imagine since the date is 5/8/65, this would have been one of the first few episodes that aired. But I cannot find it. So if anybody has any clue, let me know if you know anything about it. Watch the Birdie F-Trope episode. I'll go ahead and speed up here, since I'll go a little slower on this one because this is the original. Now the other one is pretty much the same, except it has other corrections that were apparently made in another copy, and then it was then copied. So the other one I've got, there's a copy of this one, is actually a copy of one that they corrected further after they had left in these corrections. You'll see it when I get to it. Let's see, this page 17. Lots of stuff wrote with felt pen here. Add-on dialogue. Some omitted or corrected, crossed out. Some in pencil. There's some more, and there's looks like a whiteout right here. Didn't quite get totally whited out, but I can see it. And it's a really small, a small snake. Really small correction. I mean, almost all these pages have something wrote in them. Wrote on this, either corrected or crossed out. Here's one right here. Probably out of the 46 pages, maybe 15 do not have any corrections like this, or add-ons. There's another one right there. Oh, I guess I should have got a little closer. Just don't want to cut nothing off there. Here we go. It's kind of hard to see some of these pencil corrections anyway. They are really tiny, like that one there. There's a few pages here in a row that didn't have anything written on them. There's a correction here. White out and then typed over it, Birdie. Another crossed out with pencil. And of course, anybody who's seen any of these videos that I've been doing on scripts will know that this kind of a script is one of my favorite ones, where it has all the corrections, especially if it's done by the original writer and right off the typewriter. It's even better. There's not many that I have that are like that. There are a few. I've got a couple, but probably my favorite one that has corrections in it and is right off the typewriter. I think it's either for an episode of Genesis that was never picked up as a series. I think that's what it was for Genesis 2. Could be wrong, but that's a cool one. Little Gene Roddenberry side project, and there we go. That's the end of that one. Now this next one, like I said, is a copy, and the very first page in here is pretty interesting, something you hardly ever see. This is a revisions recommended for Watch the Birdie F-Trope, and it tells you what page they wanted these particular corrections done on. Pretty cool. Interesting. Never seen too many. I think that's probably the only one of those I've ever seen. It's the only one I've got anyway. I think there's one from the standards and practices, which is basically the censors from, I have a Buck Rogers, one of the Buck Rogers episodes, but that's the first one of these that I've seen that has the corrections, a whole list of corrections for the whole script. And as you can see, this is a photocopy. Possible revisions, and it says the same thing here. Now the date is not there, but I believe it's the same as this other one, 3rd of May. And as you can see here, this is all, so like this is omitted. When it's crossed out, that means that whole scene is omitted. These are basically the only ones that are different. There might be some writing here and there that's different from the other one, but the biggest difference in this one and the other one are the stuff like this that's omitted. Whole dialogue and scenes even. Now there may be a few in here. I'll have to, if I see it when I get it to it, I'll say something, but there may be 1 or 2 pages that, yeah, here we go. Here's one that's in pencil. This is corrected after this was made. This is in pencil. You can tell the difference. It's not black ink, so it's not a copy. Part of the copy. It was done later. Oop, here's some more right there. So being as how this is the first draft, that's probably not that unusual. Here's another done with ink or a felt tip pen. Because on most scripts, they end up going through, on average, probably 2 to 3, maybe 4, and sometimes more revisions until they get the final script. So these are, that's one there, and here's another one that's in pencil. There's one. Now I did mention that the audio is from the first season pilot episode. It's the theme. Here's another scene that was X'd out. Here's another one. See, it says out. Here's a whole bunch more that's X'd out. This whole scene right there. Some of those might correspond to the 11 or to the yellow page, revisions recommended page. I didn't look to see, but I bet probably some of them are. That's page 21, and here's the piece. Let's see if it matches. Let's see what's on 21, if there's a 21 here. 20 and 21. Improve Jane and Wilt scene. New tag to scene. Huh. Okay. Not sure if that's this one here, but this one looks like it was X'd out after. Yeah, I can feel it. This was done after this was copied. It's done in pencil. There's another one. This is also written in pencil. These are all copies. Not in pencil. Here's some more pencil. Pretty interesting. It's always neat to see the stuff that they omit or delete when you've got 2 copies. Well, when you've got 2 different scripts, a 2nd and 3rd revision or something, we can see the difference in what they omitted, what they left in, what corrections they made. Otherwise, you have to watch the episode with the original, the first script, to see what actually was not done. Okay, I didn't take the brads out, so this is going to be a little difficult here. I'll just have to hold it. There's some more penciled in add-on. There's another one. Edited out. Penciled out. Some more corrections. Or rather, add-on. 37. That's all copy. If I didn't know it was going to be this difficult, I took the brads out of this thing. I'm not going to go through it I'll go through it fairly quick here, the last few pages, because I don't think there's too much left on here that's corrections. And being as how this is not an episode that you can check out, unless you particularly want to read it. Hopefully it's in focus long enough on each page here for you to check it out if you want to. There's a really light page there. Looks like it was running out of ink. And there it is. Last, there's some heavy duty brads. There you go. F Troop. More than likely, I'm pretty sure, a non-episode story. First draft script and outline. Actually two outlines. Story outline and a step outline. So let me know what y'all think. If you enjoyed that, if you're a fan of the show. I watched a few of them when I was a kid. I wasn't really that big of a fan, but I always liked the chemistry between Larry Storch and Tucker. He was pretty cool. They both got together again. I did the script a while back of a show they did in 1970, I think it was 74, for Filmation. It was a live-action Ghostbusters, believe it or not. And the two of them were reunited to do a kids show. Lasted 1 year. Pretty cool. You have to check that script out. You look for it. It's under Ghostbusters. So y'all take care. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't, and ring that bell for future posts. Later.